At least 2 persons are feared dead after a trotro crashed into a faulty trailer parked in the middle of the road at Tesano. The accident, which occurred around the Tesano police station, is believed to have taken place around 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Sharing details with Joy News, a Good Samaritan who went to the rescue of some trapped victims, Kwejo Kunedu, said the occupant of the faulty trailer had failed to indicate that a vehicle was parked on the road.
I got there around van. I just ran into the car, the truck, and I just gave them the highlight so to assist. But we were not able to open the door, so we had to go to the trunk, the boot we opened, and some of the guys were brought out there. But definitely the driver, there's no way that he's going to survive. And even some motor also came and ran into the car. Definitely, it's because there wasn't any light, there wasn't any triangle, and there was nothing to warn oncoming cars that this is what has happened. So I'm sure that because of the darkness, the van didn't see this truck was parked there, so he just ran into it, and that's what happened.
And the truck didn't have any sign, triangles, and all those things?
There wasn't any, and even there wasn't any hazard lights on, there wasn't any triangle, nothing. So definitely that's why, and where it was parked is a curb. So I'm sure immediately that the driver got, it was late for him to brake, so he just ran into it.
Well, he also says that without any form of warning and leaving the vehicle behind, the vehicle at a curve, the driver of the trotro, that's the public transport vehicle, could not make out the trailer in the dark, and that resulted in a crash. While the driver of the trotro is believed to be part of the 2 people killed in the accident, Kwejo Kunedu reveals that a motor rider also crashed into the same faulty trailer, as you heard him there say. Other residents who spoke to Joy News indicated that the trucker with Togolese registration number and carrying onions had been parked at the same spot since it broke down on Tuesday. A team from the Ghana Police Service and the ambulance service have retrieved the trapped bodies and helped to clear the traffic. Now, 12 people, 9 male adults and a woman and a little girl believed to be 9 years old, have been pronounced dead at Alipe in the Central Gonja district, following a head-on collision between a DAF tipper truck with registration number NR 578F and a Kumasi-bound Toyota minibus with registration number AS 287220. The DAF tipper truck was loaded with sand from Yape to Tamale, and the minivan had 18 souls on board. Isaac Nonya is our correspondent in the Savannah region. He's joining me on phone with more on this development. Isaac, let's begin with what you saw at the scene of the accident when you got there.
Yeah, Gipsy, when we got to the scene, we saw pieces of the Toyota minibus scattered all over the area with some of the belongings of the passengers that on board the same car. We also realized that of the tipper truck, the entire front of it got mangled, while its tire, the left front tire, also got burst. It was surprising to see that the 4 tires of the Toyota minibus were still intact, while the body right from front to the back seat were all scattered under.
What did eyewitnesses say to you?
Eyewitnesses blamed the accident on the weather yesterday, because between the hours of 7 and then 8 p.m., they said there was a rainstorm, and it was that storm that did not give any clear visibility. And as a result of that, the Toyota minibus that was coming from Tamale headed towards Kumasi were told veer off its lane into the tipper truck that was also coming from Yape lane, resulting in the head-on collision. From there, they said the minibus somersaulted and then fell on the other side of opposite side of the east lane, and then everything came out, and then the other people, the 11 people who died on the spot, were all from the minibus, including the driver, one Akosi Sumela. We're also told that the tipper truck, there was only one person inside, the driver, managed and then parked on the other side, and the driver was taken to the hospital at the hospital.
I believe the police has already been to the scene. Have they said anything about what they believe to be the cause of this accident?
Yes, the police has been there, and their account is that it was a result of dangerous driving. Dangerous driving, the sense that they said when the weather was no good, both cars or drivers supposed to stop and wait for the visibility to be clear for them to move. But once they didn't stop, that resulted in the unseen incident that happened there. So next time, the advice to drivers is that when you're on the road and you realize that it's raining or it's about to rain and there's rainstorm, you quickly get a place to park and allow the weather to become clear before you move.
You indicated that about 11 people died on the spot. Those who were injured, do we have any updates on them? Yes,
those who were injured, I think that the other 5 who are still on treatment at Samuel Teaching Hospital were saying they're doing well. But the driver of the tipper truck, one Adam, who was among the injured, were told also passed on this morning, bringing the death toll to 12.
Well, Isaac, let's also talk about the drivers. What do we know about them?
Yes, the drivers. Akosi Sumela of the Toyota minibus died on the spot, while Adam was among the patients the injured carried to Samuel Teaching Hospital. He, we are told, died this morning. I actually came across a brother of his at the scene who confirmed the incident to us that the man couldn't make it this morning.
That's a very sad one. Isaac, thank you. We believe that we'll be following up on these injured to find out how they're doing and also see what more details the police reveal from their investigations. Isaac Nonya is our correspondent for Savannah region with the details there. I'm going to go on Zoom right now, and joining us is Dr. James Damsere Derry, the head of Transportation Engineering Division of CSIR. Doc, thank you for your time. The issue of vehicles parked on major roads has always been a concern. Do we need to legislate, or what other actions can we take concerning this phenomenon? Hello, Dr. Derry. We're having difficulties reaching Dr. Derry there, but we're trying to raise him up back on the line. If you heard, we've just premiered our documentary on road crashes crushed, and in that documentary you see how accidents have occurred and the lives that have been lost to accident. Well, just this morning we're reporting at least 2 accidents, and already the Accra Region Command has already sent information also about another accident that happened this morning. What we know is that at Tesano, that a vehicle ran into a parked truck and caused some accidents there. But in the Savannah region, 11 people died on the spot. And we're trying to get to talk to CSIR on the back of vehicles being parked in the middle of the road and what can be done about that phenomenon. It looks like we're having a hard time. Let's move on. We'll come back when we raise him back on the line. Now, management of popular intercity transport company VIP Zone has disclosed that it provided compensation for one driver who was involved in a road accident in 2017. This is contrary to account from the driver Kwame Ofori, who said he did not receive any assistance from the company beyond the initial treatment of his wounded leg, which is now amputated. We'll hear from the managing director of the company shortly, but first listen to Mr. Ofori, who spoke to Seth Kwame Boateng in our hotline documentary, Crushed.
Yeah, mama is no, do. I found my baby. Now, like it is a planted. It is now could pay baby dinner. Problem is at home. Oh, to me, and at times you are in Besse. Make I be Ghana ma too much for me tembia me person me okay 3 years to be no call a question say bibia na me tise commander na ka chen say omoa me and also the report no brain lawyer ti do on ma papa me no te obaje say papa na fa ba chia ko jiska no insurance for ya car 3 years ni car ne ye adwuma bisine thousands ko papa na mame.
Well, reacting to this allegation at the premiere of the documentary on Monday, Managing Director of VIP Jean Adakabre Frimpong Manso said the driver received support in excess of 20,000 cedis.
First, the documentary asserted that the driver had been neglected by the owner of the bus, and the insurance company has also neglected the driver. And then the driver himself also said that the man did not mind me at all after the insurance. As a matter of fact, the owner of the bus was a director of VIP and died in January 2017, and the accident happened in February 2017. This particular driver was paid out at a sum of 20,000 cedis. Subsequently, he was a driver's welfare also paid out 16,000 cedis to purchase a vehicle he uses today. He has also been given a space at VIP in Kumasi, the engineering section, where he plies his trade. So he earns an income as it is now. So quite surprising, he did not mention the support he's received from VIP.
Adakabre, they're speaking for the VIP bus. Let's get on phone now. I can have Dr. Derry join me there. He is the head of Transportation Engineering Division of CSIR. Dr. Derry, I was asking earlier about the issue of vehicles parked on major roads that are usually left. It's been a major concern because most of the time when accidents occur, it's either some vehicle has run into a parked truck or something similar. The question is it necessary to legislate, or what other action can be taken at this point?
Thank you very much for calling me this afternoon. I would say it's a major road traffic concern. Currently, in 2019, all road fatalities that occurred in Ghana road involved parked vehicles. Currently, there is a legislation in the country that prohibits the parked vehicle to be left unattended. If you read the Road Traffic Act 187, Section 1D, it says that a person shall not park a motor vehicle or a trailer on a road unless in an emergency situation an adequate advance warning must be provided. So this is very clear, and the only thing that we have to do is to enforce the law. So there is a legislation at the moment that prohibits the leaving of vehicle unattended on the highway.
Then obviously we're not enforcing. When it comes to enforcement, what advice can you give based on what we've done already, which obviously perhaps is not working?
Actually, to say the least, Ghana tried to implement the law of towing vehicles off the road, disabled vehicles, but it was shut down in course of time. So I think we have to revisit that law and try to engage all the stakeholders who are involved in transporting heavy goods vehicles, very heavy goods operating heavy goods vehicles, so that they can abide by this regulation. And it will be appropriate if government could resource people to do it, based on, private basis, so that if a vehicle is broken down, they can call the towing agency to come and tow the vehicle away.
Well, Doc, I'll say a very big thanks for your time. Dr. Damseri Derry, the head of Transportation Engineering, CSIR. Well, he thinks that we should revisit the legislation or revisit the arrangement where we could have some toll services for vehicles that break down on the road. Of course, that story, we know how it ended. It didn't go through. He thinks we should revisit that conversation. Well, you're still watching Joy News Today. I'm Gifty Andopia. Still to come, Kumasi records a rampant invasion of snakes in some residential settlement.
This period, I think we've had about 6 calls. We've been able to attend to 4 of them. We've captured a cobra, and then the rest that we've captured are African rock pythons, and then a royal python as well.
That's a rather long one. Away from that, I'll take you to Kaswa, where a Kaswa-based Muslim spiritualist, Sheikh Ibrahim Ya Latif, has revealed that many young men between the ages of 15 and 25 have been contacting him on how to get rich quick and also to seek help to win the hearts of women. He says his teachings are purely based on the Quran. Hence, he advises them to rather focus on their education when they come. This revelation comes on the heel of the arrest of 2 teenagers alleged to be involved in the ritual killing of a 10-year-old boy. Maxwell Agbaba has more in this report as part of our series highlighting the state of insecurity in Kaswa.
People are still shocked in the Kaswa neighborhood where the 10-year-old boy was killed. A woman I've met here claims one of the suspects had wanted to use her grandchild for the rituals.
I have a 10-year-old daughter. The 18-year-old suspect came to my house. I cannot tell lies. He came to my house to ask for water. I told him I did not have water. He sent my daughter to buy it for him, but she said no.
Her friend, who is here with her, says the 18-year-old suspect had bragged about how he was going to be rich soon.
He told me not to look down on him and that he loves me. He continued to say that he will be rich soon. He was wearing a red cardigan. I told him we are not peers because I'm 36 years old. But he said my age does not matter.
I'm now at the residence of a spiritualist, Sheikh Ibrahim Ya Latif, who lives very close to Kaswa. We sit on an animal skin with our legs crossed. He says his advice to his clients is purely from the Quran. Malam Ibrahim Ya Latif told me many young people contact him on how to get rich quick and also how to win the hearts of women. He says he encourages them to rather focus on their education.
Among some of the Malam who teaches, I teach the Quran. The meaning of the Quran. Do you go to school? If they say yes, I say concentrate on your school. Things that people do to get rich, it's not an adventure for you small boys. I just sack them. Some of them will come because of girls. I don't know where they get those ideas. Some of them because of the movies that they watch. You understand? And normally you see at the age from between 15 to 20 years, it's a age that young boys want to try everything that they see. Everything that they see, everything that they hear, they want to try it and see. So sometimes if those kind of boys, if they are coming and if you don't have experience in this work, you will end up putting yourself into trouble. So normally they do come, they do call us, but we don't entertain them. If they come, we just ask them to go back to school. Even some of them can be even 25, 30 years. But if the person says that he's going to school and you see the problem that he's bringing, not maybe because the person is facing some kind of spiritual attack and the rest, but he wants money or for girls, we advise them they should just concentrate on their education and stop those kind of for girls and money and those kind of things. Young boys between the ages of 15 to 20, they don't, well, I wouldn't know some other people. But I've never gotten a boy who came here between the ages of 15 going to 20 for a certain problem, apart from girls and instant money, those kind of pocket no dry. I don't know where they even get those kind of names. Yes, that's it.
Sheikh Ibrahim Ya Latif says genuine spiritualists do not engage in human sacrifices. He's advising young people to rather work hard and that there's no shortcut to success.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I will not speak for all spiritualists, but I will speak for my field. I'm a Muslim. I pray 5 times a day. I fast during the month of Ramadan, just like I'm in fasting now. Killing a human being is a great sin in Islam.
Municipal Chief Executive for Ewutu Senior East, Michael Mensah, says the Municipal Security Council is determined to clamp down on fraudulent spiritualists and traditional priests.
If you pass through Kaswa, you wouldn't see that ritual things around. Usually they are located at the outskirts of urbanized areas. Exactly. I am in a one-town municipality. I don't have villages where you find them. However, they advertise on mass media, and these children see. And this is something that the National Communication Authority must stamp its feet on.
Is that to say that you don't have some of them advertising on the streets in your jurisdiction?
No.
On electric poles and all of that?
No, okay, well, I can't say that on authority, but not to my attention.
But, I mean, assuming without admitting that that is the case, what is MUSEC going to do about it?
Of course, you know, MUSEC at my level, we've been meeting. We've been looking at the dynamics. That is why if you have seen that the situation in Kaswa has gone down a lot. You know, because of the way we've been trying to pragmatically put in place things as things, situations evolve. Okay. So with this new development, there will be another way to also tackle it, and then it will be discussed at MUSEC and the necessary steps taken. Okay. Yes.
Maxwell Agbagba with that report. Meanwhile, the 2020 vice presidential candidate for the NDC, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, says the killing of the 10-year-old boy demands a national soul-searching and an honest inquiry into the direction of the country. She visited the family members of the deceased on Tuesday and presented an amount of 10,000 cedis on behalf of the NDC and 2020 presidential candidate John Mahama. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abu Jinapor, says his integrity is at stake in his quest to deal with illegal mining in the country. Mr. Jinapor says that despite how intricate the small-scale mining industry is, he will serve with integrity and assist to fulfill President Akufo-Addo's vision of streamlining the sector. He acknowledges the daunting task involved in fighting illegal artisanal mining, considering the network of politicians, chiefs, businessmen and other high-profile individuals involved in the trade.
I've met people who say your tenure as minister will be determined on how you deal with illegal mining. I agree with them entirely.
You agree that your tenure will be judged based on how successful you are in dealing with illegal mining?
How successful I will be in doing my work as minister. Hold on, there's a clear difference. How successful I will be in doing my work, and what will be my work to serve in integrity. That's the first. I'm so to clear my mind about it. That as Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, more than perhaps any other office that I will occupy, my integrity, my personal integrity is key, particularly as it relates to this small-scale mining thing. Okay. So I cannot soil my hands. It's very important. That's number one. Two, how do I lead? How do I offer leadership? How do I work? Am I...
forgive me, I need to...
no, but I'm
you say that... forgive me, but you say the thing about integrity in relation to Galamsey because you appreciate...
No, in general, of course, we all have to live up to...
No, I get it, but this is in reference to Galamsey. Because you appreciate the difficulty of dealing with this, with the powers at play.
Because I appreciate...
And the monies and the enticements at play.
Very much so. That's the point I'm making. And I also make the point to illustrate the fact that I hear people say, oh, President Akufo-Addo and this, that. But the bottom line is you have a situation where, I have to be careful with the choice of my words, but all kinds of people are involved.
All kinds of people?
Yes, all kinds of people are involved.
What kinds of people?
I'm not going to say it here, but I'm saying that is what we're going to do tomorrow. That the Ghanaian people should rise up to the occasion and rise up and say that this is not something that they will tolerate.
Hello everyone, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Prices of petroleum products are expected to go down beginning this weekend. This is based on data from bulk importers of petroleum products, but with the reduction being enforced by oil marketing companies. George Biafe has the latest.
Based on these new price levels that these bulk oil firms are going to supply to the oil marketing companies, diesel should be reduced by a little over 2% per litre. This should mean that a litre should be sold at 5 Ghana cedis, 25 pesos. translating into 23 cedis, 62 pesos per gallon. The reduction in price of this finished product is based on improved supply of diesel on the international market. On the other hand, the price of petrol should go up by a little over 1% per litre. The increase is due to demand for these products as Europe switch into summer very soon. From this weekend, a litre should be sold at 5 Ghana cedis, 46 pesos. But for many, their biggest concern will be whether these oil marketing firms abide by these new prices. For instance, prices should have gone down by some 4 pesos per litre some 2 weeks ago. But our checks show that most of these firms are yet to adjust their prices. However, it is said that some of these companies are quick to review their prices when they are supposed to go up. But the same cannot be said when there's supposed to be a reduction. This has led to some calling for a review of this price deregulation policy, as most of these oil firms are just not complying. But some of these companies still continue to complain that their cost of operations are going up and the current price levels is not giving them a good return on their investments. We're still not sure about whether the new taxes announced in the 2021 budget have been applied on these products and how things will look like in terms of the price dynamics going forward.
The Ministry of Food and Agriculture says 90,000 smallholder farmers have received investment from government in the last 2 years. The ministry revealed this during its first Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program stakeholder workshop held in Accra. There's more in this report.
The Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program is a government initiative designed to provide a framework for a long-term financing engagement for private-led poor agricultural value chain development in Ghana.
As you are aware, the Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program, GASIP, is currently being financed by an IFAD loan of $36 million and an ASAP grant of $10 million. The program is being implemented by your Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Mr. Chairman, the goal and objectives of GASIP is to sustainably reduce poverty in rural Ghana by increasing profitability and resilience to climate change of agribusinesses and smallholder farmers.
The National Program Coordinator, Kluche Kudomo, indicated that the switch in management for the program has increased the implementation status from 12% in 2015 to 78% in 2019.
GASIP became effective in 2015 and was expected to close by June 2021. However, the program is being considered for extension so as to complete some outstanding activities. Mr. Chairman, before the current management of GASIP took over in April 2019, GASIP implementation status was 12%, a situation which was leading to a premature closure of the program by IFAD for non-performance. However, due to the hard work of management and staff, IFAD has reclassified the status of the program from a non-performing one to a performing program.
Mr. Kudomo stated that the farmers benefited directly with production inputs and were trained in good agricultural practices. He went on to highlight some benefits enjoyed indirectly.
They were also trained in good agricultural practices, climate change resilience, food safety and food quality training, operational excellence to ensure that their businesses are functioning properly, food processing, among others.
And there's more business news coming up on the marketplace, including news that inflation rate hit 10.3% as of the end of March. That'll be at the top of the hour. Sports is up next.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the sports segment on Joy News today. I am Muftaro Nabila Ablai. By 2023, the Ghana Football Association intends to roll out a video assistant referee, a technology that has come to being since 2018. The World Football Governing Body, that is FIFA, decided to introduce this over decisions that they say have affected the outcome of matches, and GFA intends to have this within the domestic game by 2023. Alex Cote is referee's manager of the Ghana Football Association. The football governing body announced last year they will be engaged in the Ghana Premier League. Referees manager of the Ghana Football Association, Alex Kote, tells Joy Sports the association will soon be settling referees the usage of the technology.
Is coming. Just like I said the first time, we are in the process. Now we have created the various teams, the legal team, the finance team, the training team, the technology team, and all that we're going to have, and then we would finally choose the technology provider. Then he will begin to come in with his item. Then the training, the real training itself would come on. It's a very long process, but then we think that we have started very well. Though there were some few delays, but we have started very well, and hopefully. I think that we are still working within the schedule.
The Ghana FA intends to roll out the video assistant referee in the country's top flight competition by 2023. However, many have reservations about where equipment for the VAR will be stationed, as most venues and the pitches are not good enough. Alex Kote says he is confident issues surrounding infrastructure will be resolved before the next 2 years to ensure there are no hitches in the functionality of the equipment.
We are saying that by 2033 we would have full implementation of the VR. I heard some stories somewhere. Some people were talking about our pitches not too good and that sort of thing. We believe that as part of the club licensing, the pitches is also part of it. Okay, and so we have given ourselves by 2022, and we want to ensure that at least by that time we would have very good pitches in the country, so that the VAR will not have problems.
The video assistant referee came to being in the 2018 FIFA World Cup after the world's football governing body noted incidents, human errors that have affected the sanctity of the game of football. And talking about human errors that have affected the sanctity of football, most football fans often vent their spleen on referees over decisions they make in these games. The VAR is meant to solve that, with Ghana Police also helping out on how to curb hooliganism in the game of football. Sheila Abeye Bachman, she is the Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service. She's warning hooligans that they will be forced to take actions against people who go to match venues to cause mayhem.
The strength of the police sometimes to provide the necessary security. The advice may come from the police, but the local organizers may want to negotiate for, say, lesser numbers of police officers, or numbers that are lower than the recommended numbers by the police officers. Sometimes because of the resources that they will have to make available for that to happen. And so we should at all times have the open mind of seeking to adhere to the advice, rather than having our numbers ready to negotiate, to limit the kind of security that the police will avail itself to provide at match centers. And where the advice comes that for one or two reasons, because you see, when we're going to provide security, we are not looking at security relative to the match alone. Sometimes there may be prevailing conditions in the community that could trigger incidents happening on the field. Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes you have to negotiate hard before local organizers even get to understand. And these are reports coming from commanders on the ground. So yes, the advice is not only going for spectators to do the right thing, but also for the local organizers to do the right thing from the beginning. Match officials to do what is right for the beginning, so that their actions don't trigger actions that call for arresting people later on for prosecutions. But having said this, should anybody go to any stadium or any field, football playing field, to conduct him or herself in a manner that the law gives authority to police to arrest and prosecute, you leave us with no option than to arrest you and prosecute you.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News Today. Now, actress Rosemont Brown, popularly known as Ekuapim Polo, has been convicted by an Accra Circuit Court over naked pictures with her son. The conviction comes after she posted a naked picture with her son on Instagram, celebrated his 7th birthday. She has been remanded into custody to undergo a pregnancy test before her sentencing. In court Wednesday, the actress pleaded guilty to all 3 charges and was convicted on her own plea by the court presided over by Christina Khan. Away from that, movie producer Kofi Asamoah has called for the immediate reopening of cinemas after almost a year of its closure. He argues that if children can be trusted to observe the COVID-19 protocols by allowing them back in school, why not adults?
I really think that it's long overdue because, you see, if we are able to have 271 or so parliamentarians sit in parliament and think that they are able to follow COVID protocol and no cause for alarm whatsoever, to be able to do the same for the cinema. You know, in the cinema, nobody even talks. There's no speaker. There's no leader. You don't talk in the cinema. Mm-hmm. You only watch something on screen. You only watch something on screen. You know. And so you don't have people talking to anybody on the stage or people sharing ideas. Or in a cinema, you clap, you cry, you laugh,